Hey guys, so today I'll be going over some of the games I play this week. There's a common trend in many of these games that I play, and I'll go into detail about them in a bit. But first, let's take a look at this game. So the two common, common scenarios that occur in this week's games for me is two things. So one is a Tenyo helmet proc, the moving proc, and Elwin kind of trying to clean things up. The Tenyo proc is very, very annoying, as you will see in the two games that I'm about to show you. So in this game, I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you, but basically I get a very lucky Tenyo's proc, lets my DPS cross the entire map in turn 1. You'll see what I mean by this in a bit. Yeah, so as you can see from my lineup, I have a lot of long legs. And he has Zerida, who needs time to set up. The only zoning hero on the other team is Tejas. So yeah, So for this game, I actually went a different setup on Leon. Usually you see Leons with 3C. I decided to bring faction buff so I can get Clotaire faction buff. This is the moment that changed the game. With the Tenyo's Breeze proc, my Helena can now reach the enemy juggler. Helena can come here, Chivalry, and then get a ring around her, and then move another 3 blocks. And just like that, the game is pretty much over. But let's watch and see what happens. So I go in with my Clotaire. Clotaire is very good on this map. The water in the middle is actually swamp, so he does not suffer any penalties. I hit everybody. He did bring GDB. He brought GDB, but he didn't use the active. He decided to do Trident Guard, so my fixed damage will still do damage. And yeah, TGS moves, takes a lot of chunk, and because of that, she cannot kill my Clotaire. Now my Helena goes in. Thanks to the Tenyo's proc, I can reach the enemy team. Interesting build on the juggler with the reflection accessory. I think this is Last Rites plus Holy Arc. But yeah, didn't quite kill the juggler, but it's okay. The Liana barely lives. He has to heal the juggler because of the movement down I applied on juggler. This lets my Leon come in ready to attack. I decided to attack juggler again. I brought 1,000 Hooves, which will disable his guard again. So this forces him to not have any tanks to guard. But yeah. His juggler, however, at this moment in time, still has 3C. So I decided I should try to kill juggler first. Because the AoE would harm me by, potentially killing Himiko and Leon. I was surprised this killed though. But my Helen is not as bulky. I do plan to get her a little bit more bulky. But yeah, and pretty much the game is somewhat over at this point. He can try to silence me, but my TJ still has range over the Zerda, and I can kill simply by just auto-attacking. Just normal attacking. And yeah, he didn't bring Sork, so he can't fly. I just lock both in place by body blocking. And yeah, this is pretty much the game. So as you can see, one Tenyo breeze proc determines the outcome of the game. As my channel's promptly named 50-50, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes the luck turns on you. In this game, you'll see a very tilting Tenyo's proc on the enemy team that essentially caused me to lose the game. So yeah, as you can see from this lineup, I have pretty long legs again. This is kind of like a protect the Omega comp. You know, let Omega do his thing, teleport back, and just kill everybody. So I made a couple mistakes in this game too. For some reason, I thought Falnax also affected the hero. So I thought the physical damage taken decreased by 30% would affect Ultimate himself. As a result, I basically try to tank the Omega with my Ultimate, which was a very bad choice. So the Omega brought Leviathans. On this map, this means he has a lot of reach. He can directly just walk down this river. Estelle gives the movement, her buff, which gives +1 movement. This will allow Omega to reach my Ares. I decided to body block with Ultimate. So at this point, my Ultimate has 177 skill. This is an easy triple. So I don't think there was any way he my Ultimate would have survived because of the, regardless, I have low defense. I only have 1 stack of my talent, so this should be an easy kill for Omega. Let's just watch the animations. I forgot if the Leviathans also attack with Omega directly. We'll see in a bit. They do. So yeah, this is a guaranteed kill unless I increase my skill by giving Ultimate some skill arena stones. This would be a kill 10 times out of 10. My Ares decides to go in. I was surprised this killed. Granted, it was, let's take a look at what the juggler potentially had. He wasn't on water, he had no buffs, so that was somewhat expendable. See, 883. This looks like a SSM Last Rites juggler. But then again, the Stone Colossuses don't do much, so I probably did get a little lucky with the quit at least. But yeah, so I was able to get juggler and pull his heroes here. At this point in time, Estelle only has a 1 range guard, so he has to move his Gizroth back. My Helena at this point can actually reach Gizroth, whoever that was here before. My Elwin can reach the Omega, so he decides to body block with the summon. So here's the tilting part. So I move my Helena here to prep for next turn. His Omega has 2 skills that he can use that gives him 4 movement. He would not be able to reach this Helena at this current state with 4 movement, 4 extra blocks, right? He can move here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He would still not be able to reach Helena. But this happens. So Licorice Mass heals. Actually, that was, sorry. So the Tenyo proc, my memory has delayed, made a mistake. So the Tenyo proc actually occurs next turn. But what happens is, essentially, the Omega gets a Tenyo's proc and proceeds to reach my Helena. I just, kill the summon, so Gizroth can't use his 3C to do some damage. And I fly back. So yeah, here's the Tenyo's proc. Out of the 3 heroes here, and the buff to give, he gives a Tenyo's proc. So you can see now that Omega can reach Helena. I have no choice but to go in here. I have a chance of still potentially winning the game by stripping Estelle's 2-range guard. Another Holy Arc, very interesting build again. Yeah, but I was able to strip the 2-range guard, but Omega is able to kill Helena no problem, thanks to that Tenyo's proc. He teleports back to safety. So right now, I'm kind of basically screwed. But he decides, after I act again with my Akaya, he actually decides to move his Licorice up here out of guard range. This is a Crystal Warlock Licorice. I short sold the Licorice, and I managed to kill her. To my surprise. Because Crystal Warlocks do a good amount of reflection damage. And they're quite tanky too. And she was a full HP too at 100%. But yeah, so Omega starts wiping out my Akaya. And it's pretty much coming down to if I could try to out DPS. So here I actually made another mistake. I was thinking that this Estelle... So Estelle doesn't guard against magic. I thought that the wolf summon that Akaya has, when they attack, they would actually be counted as a physical attack. I made the mistake of thinking that, oh, it's actually instead of magic attack. And you'll see later why this attack on Omega kind of cost me the match. Had I attacked Estelle, this Phalanx would have, at least one Phalanx would have died, I assume. So here, I tried killing the Estelle with my Sword Soul. I miss her barely. Chances are things could have been different, but who knows. But yeah, so had I killed Estelle here, I would have been able to, solo Gizaroff and Omega. So yeah, a couple mistakes made by both of us at the end, but I would say the game was pretty much over when Omega got the Tenyo proc, allowing him to kill Helena. That, as you can see, the Omega did 0 damage to my Elwin. Only person really posing a threat to me is the Gizaroff. Now this was pretty funny. Yeah, 9 HP. But yeah, so had Estelle died, I would have been able to essentially solo them, potentially. Yeah, it's pretty much, Gizaroff can just one-shot me. The fact is, Omega could have actually killed me earlier had he crit. I don't think he crit that normal attack. But yeah, Tenyo's procs really wins games. And now I will show you 2 more games. Which, sorry, not 2 more games. I'll show you another game which kind of summarizes this week for me. 2 things. Tenyo's procs and Elwin trying to clean up. So we already saw 2 instances of the Tenyo's proc winning games. We saw Elwin try, but unsuccessfully try to clean up the team. In this game, you'll see the SP Elwin show. So yeah, I see the enemy team is semi-rush box. I know Estelle and Warner are both drivers. I do find Warner to be a bit more of a threat due to the, he could be in sprint and give his talent +1 ignore terrain, not terrain, like defensive terrain. That's essentially 2 movement. I saw that more as a threat than Estelle. So yeah, I was able to grab Akaya, Elwin, Tejas. Tejas is always a good pick in these situations. Gives you like some flexibility in how you position your units. But yeah, looks like right now it looks like the protect the Sherry comp with Juggler and Estelle. I'm able to snag Lucretia. Lucretia and Tejas on an Aka comp is very deadly. Especially their turn 2 engages, TGS would be able to piggyback off of any ally unit with her 5 movement boost from Akaya, so that gives her a lot of threat range. Lucretia also has a big threat range with movement increase drivers. Her summon could essentially swap positions with her and allow her to reach a big chunk of the map. So yeah, here I decided to activate the speed boost right ahead. I saw his formation and I thought to myself, why not try to force him to move or protect his Sherry? I was gonna go in with my Elwin here. I don't know if this kills, but I remember doing testing before, and it seems like, you know, unless this is a super bulk Sherry might actually die to Unicorn Elwin. I wouldn't know, but I have to do some more testing. But you'll see later how I still managed to somehow 100 to 0 a Sherry with SB Elwin. Albeit I did get the 30% attack buff, so that does play a difference because the unicorns and Elwin both do a lot of damage. Yeah, so here I had to be careful of Sherry. Sherry brought the assassin skill, so she has 7 movement. She can use the assassin skill. The reason why I teleported Himiko here and not anywhere closer is because I don't want Sherry essentially coming in using the assassinate skill and then using her act again to basically kill anyone here. I want to protect my Elwin. You know, Elwin's kind of my ace here, so I want to keep him alive as long as possible. So I elected to put Himiko right here. By putting Himiko right here, I can still reach, you know, these 3 units here and AoE them. So yeah, the Clotaire decides to go in here. My Himiko was almost dead. My TGS probably can't kill Clotaire if I decide to TP. If I decide to use the Act Again skill. The Strengthen, Act Again. And I don't think half HP TGS can kill Guardian and Clotaire. But yeah, so here I have to go in with Himiko. At first I thought Himiko would die, thanks to Clotaire's 3C and 1C skill fixed damage. But I forgot that I have the helmet that, you know, recovers HP when under 50% HP, and that actually saved me here. Which was kind of bad, because Sherry can use Himiko as a springer, essentially. Lucky enough, I was able to get a -2 Mobi down, so even if she does decide to, you know, hit Himiko here and hit someone else, he cannot reach my Elwin. So here, I knew Sherry had the stun, and I decided to give myself the immunity to debuffs and faction buff. This ensures that Sherry cannot, you know, kill my SP Elwin or stun him, because I want SP Elwin to be able to, you know, take out somebody next turn. Okay, so this, I believe this was the last rights SSM Sherry. The attack is a little low. I run a SSM Elwin. As you can see, the attack is very similar. So I was actually lucky again that the Sherry did not get, you know, healed back to full, which is very surprising. Let's see what happened here. Okay, yeah, so he decided to actually use Shadow Raid to kill my my Lucretia. Curious enough, I did not expect the Shadow Raid to kill Lucretia. Let's watch that again. Okay, so I think enough troops must have gotten. Ooh, actually, wait, hold on. Let me rewatch that again. Actually, you know what? I'll rewatch it after. But that could have been a Scepter Sherry. I doubt it was a Scepter Sherry, but let's take a look. Oh, This might have been a scepter Sherry. Let's watch this at a slower pace. See if the angels attack with her. So Ragnarok. Okay, no. So this is a this was a Ragnarok. Okay, interesting. All right. So, anyways, let's continue. So the Sherry's not 100% HP. This allows my SP Elwin to actually kill Sherry no problem. The last rise, had it been up, would have probably saved her. And yeah, here Vincent comes in, kills half my team. My T-Jess is gone, my Luke is gone. Thankfully, I still have this summon right here, who will be still helpful with the cooldown reduction skill that it has. So yeah, I cooldown reduct my SP Elwin just to get his ability cycled up as soon as possible. And prepare to sit back and enjoy and watch the Elwin show. I actually wanted to keep the summon alive a little bit longer, just so I can cycle my skills faster. But there was no way I could get out of Vincent's talent. I think it was 3 blocks, 3 range. 3 blocks. Yeah. So you can see my my summon will still get hit by the after death AOE. So yeah, here I'm thinking I'm kind of screwed. Thankfully, he decides to use the AoE skill instead of the single target. I don't know why he didn't use the single target skill, because that could have potentially, killed me. Same thing here. I don't know why he didn't just auto attack. This list still has a 1351. They are both Lancers, so Estelle herself would definitely be able to chunk out, Elwin or the Unicorns. But yeah, he decides to use AoE to my, advantage. 2 AoEs in a row. Do not kill my Elwin. Does not kill my Elwin. I do have some buffs here, but those buffs are not really an issue. Since I can, essentially get rid of them by just using my acting skill. I made a mistake here. I don't think I should have attacked Juggler on the terrain. I should have actually attacked Clotaire. Thing was, I forgot what the guard priority was. I wanted to kill Estelle first, because Estelle poses a bigger threat with her potentially being able to normal attack my Elwin to death. But yeah, this is very funny. You'll see in a bit. So, at this point, I have no lives. It's Elwin versus the world. Estelle doesn't die. I have no skills left. I have 1 faction buff versus 3 heroes. He decides not to attack with Estelle or Elwin. Let's do the math and see if Elwin could have potentially survived. It's 1131. Yeah, actually, I think my defense, even if he does decide to auto attack the Elwin, it would do barely any damage. Same with Clotaire. He's just hitting into. They'll just be hitting 40s basically. So I try to heal up again. This time I actually managed to kill Estelle, which is good. I have one of my threats dead. And it basically comes down to if I can get my skills up before time expires. The Clotaire cannot do anything to me. I think if he decides to single target attack my Elwin, the Clotaire might actually die. But yeah, here I just, nothing much to watch now except watch my Elwin just kill everybody. yeah, I trapped his Clotaire in the fog, and yeah, this is pretty much GG. I just keep attacking, and I win the game. So yeah, a common occurrence that I think is in many of our games is the very, very unexpected and somewhat game-changing Tenyo's Breeze proc. Sometimes at the end of the day, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. You live with what, RNG gives you, right? Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.